to tell you the same story developers tell each other on meetups and conferences from the old times of 2013. It's a story about Exodus from Monolith. Same one. This one is from context of deployment notifications. But first, hello, my name is Bogdan. I work here at FlixBus, as you could see by a lot of brands. And yeah, I love Slack. And please raise your hand if you use Slack. Yeah, almost all of you. And please raise your hands if you use GitLab CI. Yeah, if you raised your hands in both cases, like this talk is for you. And for everyone else also, but mostly for you. And this story starts when I joined FlixBus. Probably something happened before, but who cares? And it starts with Monolith, as usually these stories start. But in our case, we have 3 highly coupled monolith systems, so it's kind of distributed monolith already. And it has quite a simple pipeline. It's PHP applications in GitLab. So we use GitLab CI for running tests because it's nice to run tests closer to the place where code is. And we have one-click deployments with Jenkins that bundles all the applications and deploys them to our data center. But this talk is about notifications. So what about deployment notifications? First of all, everyone who deploys the monolith has to write in Slack channel green work, hey, I'm going to deploy this application to push these updates. And after that, Jenkins have a couple of Gradle scripts that use Slack incoming webhooks to post information about deployment when it started and when it finished. So at least it shows that something is being deployed. And also it says, well, if the deployment was successful. So deployment status is also there. And it's a nice thing, you can see a list of deployments in your one channel. They look different from usual messages, so you can see them easily. And if something broke, first thing you do usually is to check, did something related deployed. Later we noticed Jenkins also show you diff, which has been deployed, so we updated notification to this. So now it shows also commit messages of commits that are being deployed. And these red hashes are actually links to GitLab. So you could see every commit which is being deployed. So it's also very good. First, it allows you to share knowledge about code because everyone can see the code which is being deployed and which thing it's doing. Well, you cannot see, I looked it, but it's there. And also it reduces time between noticing a bug and fixing a bug. So if you deploy something that broke, log into back office, and then went away for a nice pizza, happened to me, someone else could notice it and fix it without needing you to come back. Also, this allows you to compose commit messages only with emojis. And no one uses it, which is good. It shows that we don't use child labor. One more side effect is if you have merge request with 20 commits with useless commit messages like fix, linter fix, CI fix, and everything else, everyone sees that. And you know they see that. And they react. So when we did this update, quite fast our commit history became much better than it was before. Because yeah, now everyone sees that and it matters. So monolith is good. It allows you to grow fast, and when you grow, you become big, and monolith is not good anymore. So this also happened to us, and we tried to decouple to a lot of services and get rid of monolith. And now our deployment pipelines look like this. We have services in more languages. I'm not truly honest here. Most of these services, non-PHP services, existed even in era of monolith, but now it's better to show them. And most of them use GitLab CI because we support it anyway. And why bother making one more CI solution if you have this one? And it throws Docker images into Kubernetes, which runs on top of AWS. Also, we have Apache Kafka. It's not related to deployment pipeline. I'm just bragging. Yeah, and also we have monolith pipeline because you cannot get rid of this thing in one day. Now I think a picture of syphilis would much better, but TypeHard is also nice. But what about deployment notifications? So now most of deployment pipelines have no Jenkins, so no changelog, no these Gradle scripts to be copy pasted. And which is also interesting, our organization structure changed. We have now teams assigned to domains, and each team should be able to deploy their things without looking at everyone else. So every column here you see is a team, and each team cares about everything that's related to their domain, which is not only code, but also data, front end, and deployment pipelines. It's awesome, but also it means like our deployment pipelines are all unique. They're written by different teams. So you cannot have centralized solution for anything. And like usual open source rules work. If you care about something, you either use someone else's solution or you write your own solution and then you propose it to everyone else. So we tried different solutions, like deployment notifications via sound waves, which is literally shouting, hey, I'm going to deploy this service. Not working good, no history, and also it totally doesn't work if you are at home office. Second thing, writing messages, hey, I'm going to deploy to Slack without any other notifications. It's kind of better, but still these messages look totally like every other message in your Slack channel, so you cannot see history of deployments easily. Next step is to use GitLab notifications, and some teams even do better. They make push notifications to rollbar, and then rollbar pushes notifications to Slack. And yeah, it's something. At least it shows you that something is being deployed and it looks different. It looks like deployment notification, but it doesn't show what is being deployed. And I really miss that commit messages you had in monolith. So fortunately, we have Hacker Days. Hacker Days are 2-day hackathons every 2 months when we can choose a project and work on everything we can. And I tried to use Hacker Days to solve this problem, to make something that pushes deployment notifications to Slack and has these 3 features. First, detailed and beautiful, which is about notification messages. Code I made was not beautiful at all. Second one, easy to use in new services, because developers are lazy and it should be easy to attach it to your pipeline, otherwise no one will do it. And third thing is zero state and zero configuration, which where it relates to easy to use in new services, you don't need to know how to configure this thing to make it work properly. And what we had in result was a service called Yabida. Yabida is a Russian word, means this kid, the one in green t-shirt. If you did something bad, he'll point at you. Also, this is Yabida. Yeah. And also, this is Yabida. So, in your GitLab CI job, you make HTTP call to say Yabida something is being deployed, and then it makes API calls to GitLab to get information about your deployment, and makes API calls to Slack to post beautiful messages about what is being deployed. And this long line on the bottom is actually the line you have to copy-paste in your deployment pipeline. It's just calling httpie to make HTTP call and provide some information from environment variables like current project name, pipeline ID, and the only thing you have to change is like this last word. You have to provide in which channel you want to post this message. And so it's not zero configuration, it's one variable configuration, but still good. And you can also use curl, but httpie is better than curl. And if you don't care about deployment notifications, it's the most important, most useful slide for you on this talk. httpie is better than curl. And yeah, it's better than curl. Use it. And notifications now look like this. So you see which project is being deployed, who is deploying it. You see again commit messages. And now you see not only status of whole pipeline, but status of every job in this pipeline. And actually Yabida is updating this message every few seconds when it's being deployed. So these statuses of jobs look like progress bar. You don't see names of jobs until they fail, then it will show you the name. But you can see emojis assigned to every stage. So you can still see that something is being built, then package is installed, then something is tested, then something Docker, something Kubernetes, and that thing, which is custom emoji named QA is watching you. And what I love in Slack, it allows you to preserve company culture. It's our picture, and I don't know who is it. But still, emoji is awesome. Also, if your GitLab project has an icon, it will show you it as avatar. It works even with private projects because actually Yabida is downloading this picture and serves it to Slack. And so, Yabida is good, we use it, we are happy, and result, you cannot use it. Sorry. It's not open source because making it open source makes effort, but our next Hacker Day starts tomorrow, and I can try making this thing open source if someone actually needs it. So please raise your hand if you would like to use Yabida in your company. Nice. It's much more hands than I expected. Well, if you really want to do it, you can leave me your email address. I'm not going to spam you. I'm going to send you exactly one email with link to Yabida when it's released. And there's no landing page, so just send me something on my email. That's it. Thank you. Any questions? Yep.
Are you planning also to run this support to other notification systems other than Slack?
I guess no, because we do not use any chat systems except Slack. I tried to make code decoupled from GitLab and from Slack as much as possible, but I'm not sure how good it was. So if it's open source, you can at least download it and update the part that's sending it to Slack, and that's it.
Some systems have a Slack compatible API. So if you know MetaMost, for example, it's an open source on-premise Slack compatible messaging app. So this should work at least to a certain extent.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to also trigger the deployment to Slack?
Well, we are thinking about triggering manual jobs in your pipeline from Slack, but it sounds really dangerous. And for now, Yabida is like a bot user in GitLab, and by default it has no access to anything, and you give access explicitly to every project and add it with role of reporter. And I'm not sure this role has access to run jobs. But for now, I'm just showing you links to manual jobs, so you can follow these links and trigger these jobs in Slack, in GitLab.
No, you showed the production running already. The person that makes the commit is receiving a personal message, or you can have. No, you mentioned about retrieving jobs and so on, but if it's something failed that you commit, do you receive it's possible to receive a message through Slack? To avoid to have
for
tons of
now,
emails and so on.
no. I was thinking about trying to match somehow users from GitLab and users from Slack, and if something failed, to update this message to mention user who triggered the commit, but it's not done yet. Yeah?
How do you find out the commits have changed? So I understand how to do that if you are going forward always, but do you have a rollback scenario, and what you are doing in case of rollbacks and then going forward again?
The tricky part is I'm not finding it out. Actually, it makes API call to GitLab, like get me information about current pipeline.
And data gives you a kind of a diff.
Yes, it shows like previous commit, new commit, so you can get list of commits and just take this part within them. If it's a tag deployment, it doesn't show previous commit, but then you can show tag release notes.
When you're deploying something that is not PHP, which is not an independent language, let's say Java, where you build artifacts, does it mean for every deployment you do a whole build where you build the, let's say, the charts and the Docker images, etc. again?
Well, yeah, this one. Yabida doesn't care about which programming language you use. It's your GitLab pipeline, and it shows it as is. If you have a job to build Java image, it will be like one more emoji in the line, another brick in the wall. No. Yeah.
So when is Yabida being triggered, or from which system is it being triggered? It's not on every stage on the CI, or
no, it's one job, also one job in CI pipeline, and I recommend to push it to first stage. So actually, it's not stage build, but I guess what this job is just to call emoji, and that's it.
so every first job in every pipeline has to be more or less.
Yes. Well, it could be last job, but it's not so useful.
And Yabida has an API which this.
Yes, it has one HTTP endpoint. You just post it there, and that's it.
So it takes the ID or the stuff
Like,
from the
you
pipeline
need-
and then follows more or less the pipeline to the end.
Yeah, you provide project name, a pipeline ID, and Slack channel. Then it makes another thread to update information about pipeline from GitLab and post it to Slack. And it does it until all the jobs are finished or failed or manual.
Have you thought about just using the service integration of GitLab to trigger job it instead of running it as the first job?
Okay, I will again scroll. Service integration instead of...
So instead of doing the httpie call, just
Maybe, I thought about it yesterday.
okay.
Like, on the hacker day I wasn't smart enough.
Perfect for the hackathon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.